All right. Hello, everyone. My name is James. Like we said, a PhD student at the University of Edinburgh in the UK CEH out in Roslin. And my project is on the dynamic conservation of the common juniper tree. So since time is very short for this presentation, I'm going to make two somewhat more general points and then talk about two of our preliminary results. The first is on the term dynamic conservation. I'm not just using this to make our project sound exciting. Dynamic conservation is conservation with genetic biodiversity specifically in mind, because genetic biodiversity is what underpins a population's capacity to adapt to changing conditions. And this is a concept that our lab works with very frequently in many different species of trees, because by protecting genetic biodiversity, you can maintain the resilience of populations. The next point I'd like to make is why we should care about juniper. I don't have time to go through all these points, but my favorite is that juniper acts as what is called a nursery tree, in that it protects other species of trees while they are young, enabling them to grow up through the juniper bush and evade predation until they gain a height that they can survive, which you can see in this picture on the bottom right there. Three different junipers protecting three different species of tree, which I think is very excellent. So some preliminary results here. We have looked at a common garden trial, a germination trial, and genetic markers. These are the results from our genetic marker analysis. On this map of the UK, each of these different pie charts is a different population that was sampled. And the different colors within those pie charts are each population's proportional membership of different genetic groups, which is what the colors represent. So two things to take away from this graph. First off, we can distinguish three different genetic regions across the UK, in addition to Hemispherica on the Lizard Peninsula being very distinct from our other populations. But the three regions are South England in that light blue, the Lake District in the red, and the Highlands. And as you can see, the Highlands have much more genetic diversity than either of these other two regions. Next, I'd like to share a little bit about a germination trial that we have been running for the past year. We gathered seeds from four different regions in the UK. The graphs in the bottom represent those with oh, you really can't read that, sorry. Top left is Highland, top right is Borders, bottom left is Lake District, bottom right is South England. And the different colors of the lines are the cumulative germination over time, with the different colors representing the different stratification treatments. And the big takeaway here is that the red line representing the warm-cool stratification treatment is generally the best stratification treatment for all these different regions, which is really quite surprising, right? Because the two pictures on the right show that juniper trees grow in very different conditions, and phenotypically they're also very, very different from one another. So you'd expect some variance in this, but this turns out to be a rather conserved trait for juniper trees. So this may be a potential limit to their adaptive potential. Finally, just some main conclusions here, because I'm already running low on time. Juniper populations are isolated, and they are displaying some symptoms of fragmentation. They are also highly adapted to local environments, but despite these, there may be some limits to their adaptive potential. For example, their seed stratification requirements. And all this work together shows the importance of monitoring genetic biodiversity as a component of conservation work.